we've been spraying barium salts, aluminum dioxide, and all the things that the old-timers, I say old-timers, 15, 16, 17, 18 years ago that went and tested the atmosphere said. They said aluminum dioxide, barium salts, and the other, some of them are radioactive isotopes. They predicted it all by testing. Now, give me a document cam shot right here for prisonplanet.tv viewers. Again, just search the terms I give you if you're a radio listener and find it for yourself. Now, again, they're denying all this exists. I remember seeing TV commercials for a cable company once, nationally, making fun of anybody that believes they're spraying stuff. Now, I understand there's real condensation trails. I get it. The point is, all these experts came out, and the government denied it, but then people started not calling it chemtrails. They started using search engines to search things like persistent jet trails, things like high-altitude aerosol. They began to test and do more research and find out more about what was happening. And they discovered, hiding in plain view, tens of thousands of giant multi-billion-dollar programs in some cases all over the Western world, from New Zealand to the U.S., to Canada to Europe, to spray by mixing it with the jet fuel, but they also have some aircraft that are used to block weather fronts and things specifically, to alter the Earth's atmosphere. And it turns out we have the government documents that I'm about to show you where they explain, yes, we've been testing this to save the Earth. This giant program is a test. That's how they spin it under U.S. Code Title 50, Chapter 32, subsection 1528, paragraph B. That as long as it's for research, they're allowed to do testing on humans without consent, they say. The criminal government says they're allowed to. I say, I'm not your slave, and don't you dare spray something on me, you dirtbag, control-freak criminal. Okay? Now they've come out because the mainstream media has been forced to and said, okay, we were doing tests, and we want to do it openly now, and we want to use global carbon taxes to pay for it. We want to globally spray the atmosphere with blimps that produce the stuff and aircraft to save you from global warming. And then scientists looked at it and said, this will cool the planet down. What are you doing? And then they looked at it even closer with some of the stuff they're spraying and said, this will actually heat it up. What are you doing? Then they looked at it even more closely. And now the UN says, well, since we're not saying there's global warming, now the sun's rays are going to hurt you. So I'm going to show you the mainstream news articles. Here it is. Why the sun seems to be dimming. BBC. This is from a couple years ago. And it goes through NASA and other scientists saying the Earth is at least 20% darker. This says 22% drop in sunlight since the 1950s, with most of it in the last decade. You see that? Some areas of the world it's fallen by 30% or more. The sunlight is not getting in. Let's continue. Here's another one, Wired Magazine. Earth's dimming skies before and after. You think this might be bigger than Iran or maybe the Dallas Cowboys even? I know nothing's bigger than that, but again, then I'll show you the documents where they admit they're doing this. And I'm going to go over this later in the week. They gave a guy, what was in 92, a Nobel Prize for coming up with this. By 95, they were testing it all over Europe and the U.S., but it wasn't worldwide. Now it's worldwide. Here's more of the documents. Science Daily, what impact would sun dimming have on Earth's weather? Now, here's the Council on Foreign Relations, the globalist. Geoengineering workshop on unilateral planetary scale geoengineering. What do they call for? Barium salts, aluminum dioxide. They admit the testing's already been done. Yeah, a giant program. They're calling it a test. Here's another one, Unilateral Geoengineering Report, CFR. Stay with us.
Network.
Not just Americans, but Westerners in general have had our will breaking. We've had our will broken. And they're attempting to break the rest of us that have not been completely brainwashed. What's happening is they're just teaching us that I'm government, I'm God, bow down, lick my boots, do what I say, you have no rights. And the criminals in government are recruiting more criminals in to serve them. That's when a tyranny goes wild. And we can either beat this thing, this case of cancer, of political cancer, or we can die as a society. But we better get back to the Bill of Rights, Constitution. Those incredible protections against tyranny. We better start appreciating them again. Now government everywhere, police, judges, I see it in the news all the time, actually have disdain for the Bill of Rights and Constitution. They laugh at people, but that's a laugh of fear. That's an attempt to look like they're all powerful. They are sacks of weakness and pathetic criminality. And the system itself still has a lot of good people in it. I'm trying to hurry here because I want to go to your calls. And I wanted to get more into chemtrails today. I've covered it some. It's just mind-blowing to realize that as a society, we've degenerated this much. And that people are so naive. We're going to have to get a lot worse before everybody wakes up. Things are going to get real bad. Finishing up with the chemtrails, I'm going to get into more of the documents this week. Just type Council on Foreign Relations chemtrail docs, and you'll get the links to it. You'll be at cfr.org, and they talk about, a global government plan, unilateral planetary scale, geoengineering, where the UN and others decide how much water you get, whatever, where they play total God. And they go and admit it's been going on, but now they're going to move to full operation. Again, they call what they've already done testing. Meanwhile, the general public was told it didn't exist. So even as it's going on, they're like, I will not look at that because the government said it doesn't exist. Global government doesn't exist, even as it's being announced. They announce Europe under banker dictatorship. Time magazine says it. Still, I will not read that. Or I am for the dictatorship because crazy people like Alex Jones said it would happen. And so it still doesn't exist, but it does. I'm a trendy. I'm involved in mental illness. I'll take more Prozac today. And so it gets worse and worse. Because you're naive, they win. So it's simple. The Earth gets 22% darker, according to NASA, on average. Some areas over 30. I just read you the numbers from BBC. Plant life's having problems. The aluminum level is going up all over the world in the soil. Suddenly, plants are having trouble. Animals are getting high levels of it. It also brain damages humans. The globalists have giant underground seed vaults. Monsanto's coming out with a whole line of every major food crop, aluminum-resistant plants. Oh, nothing can live anymore, but if you buy it from Monsanto, it's okay. Global domination. This is about the globalists playing God, devastating the natural biosphere, and then coming out with a new creation that's patented and owned by them. They are trespassing against all of us, attacking all of us, taking over our genetic code, splicing every plant and animal, destroying the earth while lecturing us all day about the dangers of carbon dioxide that plants breathe. And let's pay Al Gore money so they can have global fleets of aircraft spraying aluminum on us because the carbon dioxide would hurt the plants that breathe it. So that's the secret of chemtrails. It's all right here. Global warming panel to Earth's rescue on UN's dime. Human events. And it's the UN saying, oh, we developed this plan to spray aluminum dioxide on you. It'll save you from the heat. What it really does is kill the soil, like the Romans, when they would beat an enemy, they would salt the earth, so even if rebels hid in the hills, they couldn't come back to their crops and grow them again. Well, they just hit you with aluminum. It doesn't matter. The public doesn't care if their kids are brain damaged and brain disorders are off the charts and cancer's off the chart and everything's falling apart because they got a stupid football game to watch. They don't care if their families have neurological disorders to their left and their right. They don't care if diseases are tripling, quadrupling all around them. Okay, then. But I care. And I have a right to not be sprayed by these pedophiles, these scumbag criminals playing God. They want to screw everything up because they're sickos. They want to watch the world burn. And, you know, I'm here to warn everybody. I'm here to risk my life in my name to warn you. You're part of the establishment. You've got children, but you're not a sicko. You better join the side of truth. You're a mainline conservative who knows this is true but won't go public. You better go public, and you better speak out and be counted now, or these people are going to win, and your family has no future. You're some mainline liberal. Time for you to wake up and go public. Time for all you talk show hosts to decide which side you're on. Time for all you big news websites to decide what side you're on. Time for you to look at the facts and decide what side you're going to be on right now. They're releasing open water salmon that the government admits will extinct the normal salmon species, and the salmon is part insect and part other fish. They are splicing humans with every animal out there and openly releasing plants that grow live AIDS virus in it. You don't believe me? Just search that term. Folks, it is as if demons of hell had come out, possessed people, and were running things. Okay? I mean, it might as well be. You people that don't believe in God or the devil, might as well be the devil. Might as well be, because that's exactly what these people are. If there's not a real guy running around, they are. These people are devils. They fit the bill. And look at every culture. Every culture demanded children be sacrificed to the elite. Every culture got perverted and weird. The same things just happened to us. But this time, they got hydrogen weapons. This time, they've got vaccines they can give you where you never get upset again and are a brain-damaged zombie. This time, if humanity survives, we're going to be lucky. The suicidal nihilists are in control. And they come to kill, steal, and destroy, and wreck, and watch the town burn. Like Aleister Crowley said, I want war, death, destruction, pain, murder, rapine. I want more of it. Give it to me. And that's the spirit we face. I can see it. Can you? Let's hurry. I may even have to go into overdrive to take your calls, but I promise to get to all of them, and I've tried. Nathan in Texas, you're on the air. Go ahead.
Hey, Alex. Yeah, you do need to go into overdrive. I was just calling in a couple quick comments, couple quick questions. I had the pleasure of meeting you at the occupied Dallas here in Dallas. I had the big American flag and the Gadsden flag. I just wanted to say thank you for coming up here to Dallas to see us, and thanks for everything you do. They have been spraying chemtrails like crazy here in Dallas.
Sure, they admit they've been doing it. The Earth's gotten darker, and now they go, we're going to save you by spraying exactly what the conspiracy theorists said we were doing 18 years ago. But they're still conspiracy theorists for being absolutely right.
Yeah.
And none of the environmentalists, all paid for by the eugenicists, are concerned about aluminum dioxide and barium salts and all this other crud they're spraying on us.
Yeah, no, it's amazing just to meet somebody who is concerned about it, because it seems like we're few and far between. But, you know, I appreciate that you care, and, you know, you're not going to be comfortable in this world. As a Christian, like I am...
How could I be comfortable? Murderers are spraying things on me, Nathan. I got to jump. I'm going to give everybody 30 seconds. Something's better than nothing. Jim in California, you're on the air. Go ahead.
Hey, Alex, I heard you on Coast to Coast about late in the morning. That's a good show for you. Gets a lot of people.
Yeah, 16 million. I love it. Go ahead.
Yeah, and then what if we had a freedom fund, everyone pitched in $10 or something that wants liberty, and you and Salente or somebody with some brains runs it, and we buy our way out of this mess?
Oh, okay. All right, appreciate that call. Look, I'm not going to sit here and say that I need to run the organization or build some magic thing that's going to fix it all. I know that seems like it makes sense. It's ideas. It's all of us waking people up, getting involved. Martha in Illinois, thanks for holding her on the air.
Yeah, Alex, I wanted to talk about the police state hypocrisy in this country. You know, big pharma drugs are being given to children as young as 4 years old.
Oh, it's killing them. It's brain damaging them, and they're above the law. And DynCorp can kidnap kids, and that school can be raping them forever and covering it up. Nobody gets in trouble. But then you don't do something that isn't even illegal. They throw an imaginary book at you because they're criminals.
Terrorized, detained, arrested illegally for marijuana, silly drugs that help people, that actually help people.
Martha, they're doing that because they bring in the hard drugs and want to keep the price up.
Well, you know, my son was pulled over illegally at a toll road, and he was made to sit in an officer's car with 3 cameras on him while they asked him intrusive, ridiculous questions, saying, what are you doing here? And they pulled him over because he had out-of-state license plates, because he was an easy victim. What are you doing here?
Those cops will either wake up or they'll just believe their masters and take all the vaccines and eat GMO. The thing is, I just feel sorry for them. They're victims, Martha. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. Roland to the Dark Tower came from South Carolina. Go ahead, Roland.
Yeah, hey, thanks for taking my call. My wife and I went to the meetup yesterday at Wofford College, and I just wanted to give you a quick update on that, and also tell you about a new initiative to blanket Iowa, New Hampshire, and Florida with some new brochures through the Ron Paul campaign. First, the meetup that we had out there was 2 Herman Cain supporters, no Mitt Romney supporters, no Perry supporters.
Of course, I'm out of time. God bless you all. Sorry, the listeners. Call me back tomorrow, 11 a.m. Central. Big guest coming up this week. That's all I'm going to say. Ron Paul amongst them.